Most photographers think that to build a high-end automotive portfolio, you need an official invite from a luxury dealership or a rich client who trusts you with their $250,000 supercar. But in reality, I shot this photo at a completely free but chaotic and crowded local car meet last weekend during a sudden rainstorm. Today, I'm going to show you 3 post-production hacks that I use to turn this parking lot nightmare into a magazine-ready commercial asset. Note, these hacks work for all kinds of photography, not just automotive. Because if you want to land high-paying clients, you have to stop snapshotting and start creating your own look. If you've been following the journey here at First Reveal, you know that I'm actively building my dream photography and videography business from absolute scratch. 2 weeks ago, I ventured out to several dealerships to try and pitch my services. Hey gentlemen, how you doing today? I'm around the area doing some photography. I just thought I'd see if you guys are in any need of any services or any video or anything like that. I did have a couple managers ask me to contact them, but after waiting a week, I heard absolutely nothing. It forced me to look at my operation, and I realized that I had a major flaw. My business cards and websites were out of date. They were missing my current socials, and the business card didn't even have a link to my website. They also all had my old logo. I had a mountain of back-end work to do. To be brutally honest with you guys, the week leading up to this shoot was really tough. Between working a full-time bartending job, I also had to spend hours tweaking my logos, rebuilding the website, building and printing the new cards, all while waiting on potential leads. The silence, deafening. It forced me to take a hard look at my current portfolio. The work looked good, but I only had about 3 cars in there, and I lacked variety. Dealerships don't pay top dollar for a guy who takes decent snapshots. They pay for a premium, consistent vision. Since I didn't have a client to hand me a car on a closed set, I took matters into my own hands. On Friday night, I bartended until almost 1 a.m. I probably didn't get to sleep until almost 3. But out here in Arizona, during the summer, if you want to catch a car meet before the heat destroys you, you have to move early. I set my alarm for 5:30 a.m. and headed out to Saturday morning Cars and Coffee with one specific mission. Find several flashy hero cars, capture them, and completely manipulate the environment of each to create a high-value spec ad. Now, let's jump into the edit. You'll definitely want to shoot and edit in RAWs for this because they offer significantly more uncompressed data compared to a standard JPEG. The first thing that I do is check the level of the image and straighten it to the horizon. I also decide at this point if I want to crop into a specific aspect ratio. All right, hack 1, tone. Next up is fixing the tone of the photo. Because of the storm, we had broken cloudy conditions and the exposure is off. The darks are muddy and the highlights are almost clipping. First, I'm going to change my profile to adaptive color. This brightens the image. Almost too much at first, but it pulls out all of the hidden details in the dark areas that we need. I'll dial down the profile amount to about 80%. Now, let's set the overall tone and presence. The very first slider I adjust is highlights. It'll drop way down. This helps rescue some of the bright areas of the image. I do this based on feel, so there isn't a specific number to set. I just kind of do it off the look. Next, I'll adjust exposure and contrast. I am a big fan of contrasty and punchy images, but remember, less is more. After that, I adjust the shadows, whites, and blacks, though rarely do I adjust these more than 10% in either direction. Once the core tone is set, we move to texture, clarity, and dehaze. I personally like my images to have a bit more grit and texture, but your mileage may vary. Just don't overdo the sliders. Once again, less is more. Finally, I'll add a couple points of vibrance and saturations to bring the colors to life. All right, hack 2, object removal. The real hurdle of any public car meet is the background clutter. Look at the RAW here. We have people walking around, looking at their phones, distracting bright clothing, and messy parking lot lines. To make this a professional asset, all of this has to go. Inside Lightroom, I'm using a remove tool to paint over and mask out the distracting objects. Quick tip, depending on the complexity of what it is you need to remove, you might need to jump over to Photoshop. Its content-aware remove tools are a bit more advanced. Notice how deleting these distractions shifts the entire focus of the image strictly onto the curves of the car? Suddenly, it doesn't look like a chaotic public meet. Instead, it looks like a private venue. Hey, by the way, if any of these hacks help save you time troubleshooting, hit that like button real quick so this video can help someone else as well. Hack 3, masking. To make the subject truly pop, I'm using masking. I'll select the subject mask to isolate the McLaren. This lets me make changes to the car without affecting the background. Quick tip, depending on the mask selection, you may need to use the brush or object select tool to add or subtract away from the mask. Now, I'll either select the background mask, or if I have a more complicated mask of the car, I'll duplicate and invert the mask to select the background. Here, we want to darken it a little bit to bring the focus more to the car. Don't go too far or it'll look completely fake. We can add gradient masks to the asphalt around the car, but I think this one looks pretty clean as it is. Okay, bonus hack, color. The color grade is completely subjective. You can use presets or adjust the colors based on your own preferences. Do you have a favorite preset to use, or is there a specific color theory? Comment it down below. For this image, I don't feel the need to adjust the colors too much. I don't want to change the color of the car and cause it to look different. Instead, I just focus on creating a cohesive luxury look to the entire image. Now, while these photos are definitely getting uploaded to my Instagram feed, their real job is going directly into a new pitch deck. The next time I approach a high-end luxury dealership or a private collector, I'm no longer asking them to imagine what it is that I can do. I'm showing them undeniable proof that even under the worst, most chaotic conditions, I deliver a luxury result. The takeaway for you, the viewer, and your own creative business is simple. Stop waiting. Stop waiting for someone to give you permission. Stop waiting for the perfect budget, and stop waiting to get hired. Go out this weekend, find a local event, and make the exact kind of work you want to be paid for. If you want to watch me use these assets to pitch real clients in the next couple weeks, hit that subscribe button and follow along more for my process. All right, until then, see ya.